looking KD in the face, Bradley Beal in the face, Devin Booker in the face, all at once, and saying, I'm sending y'all home. I'm telling y'all in advance. And I'm seeing Hall of Famers who are helpless, cannot do anything about it. I said, my God.
Stephen A.
I'm gonna leave it
Stephen A.
Question: is Anthony Edwards really all that good, or is he being extremely overhyped by the media? Sure, his highlights are generational and absurd, but does this actually translate to winning a title? Or could these flashy moments be masking an incomplete game, preventing Edwards from establishing himself as one of the best players in the league? So let's find out just how good Anthony Edwards is actually. In 1991, Michael Jordan wins his first championship, putting up a stat line of 31.1 points, 8.2 assists, and 2.1 steals per game on 52% shooting. While in the 4 games against the Suns, where Anthony Edwards just swept 3 future Hall of Famers, he was averaging 31 points, 6.3 assists, 2 steals on 51% shooting. These numbers are almost too similar, and when you watch Ant play, the eye test backs up the Jordan comparisons for sure.
Edwards sizing up Horford. Pull up. Got it! Sticks it. Edwards! Yes, sir!
The Minnesota Timberwolves, led by the Ant-Man, are set to face the Denver Nuggets in the second round of the NBA playoffs, where destiny awaits them. The matchups in this series are going to be electrifying, from Anthony Edwards against Jamal Murray, to Rudy Gobert facing off against Nikola Jokic, and even Karl-Anthony Towns going head-to-head with Aaron Gordon, along with the clash between the top-ranked defense of Minnesota and the high-powered offense of the Denver Nuggets. This adds another layer of excitement to what already promises to be an epic series. With both teams coming off impressive first-round victories, this series has the potential to be the highlight of the entire postseason. The Nuggets are facing some challenges with injuries to key players such as Jamal Murray, KCP, and Reggie Jackson, leaving their backcourt vulnerable to the relentless offensive assault of Anthony Edwards. Based on his performance in the first round, it's clear that the Nuggets are going to need to swiftly devise a defensive strategy to contain Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards has truly evolved into a 3-level scorer, showcasing his remarkable shooting ability by hitting an impressive 43% of his 3-point attempts against the Suns. Anthony Edwards frequently relies on his mid-range game as a go-to option, despite his efficiency hovering around 35%. However, his ability to string 2 or 3 shots in a row from the mid-range can spark momentum-shifting runs for his team, showcasing his scoring impact even if he's not at peak efficiency. The Nuggets may opt to assign Aaron Gordon to guard Edwards, given KCP's potential size disadvantage and injury concerns. However, this strategy presents a challenge, as the speed of Anthony Edwards could potentially outmatch Gordon, allowing him to penetrate and create scoring opportunities inside. Ant's defensive prowess adds another layer of complexity to Denver's defensive strategy. Typically, teams may attempt to exploit a player's defensive weakness by targeting them on the offensive end, not only to create easy buckets for themselves, but use up their energy as well. However, with Edwards being a plus defender, capable of potentially matching up against Jamal Murray, Denver's defensive puzzle becomes even more challenging to solve. However, the most daunting aspect of Anthony Edwards that Denver will have to contain won't be his defensive prowess or his scoring ability. Instead, his mentality.
How would you describe your mentality and how it's evolving, Anthony?
I just want to kill everything in front of me, man. That's the main thing. Pretty much. That's all it is to it.
Something that I can guarantee you is Anthony Edwards isn't going to quit or be overwhelmed by the moment, as he has proven himself to be not only a playoff riser, but a clutch shot maker as well. This kind of killer mentality has been a rare trait throughout NBA history, reminiscent of the likes of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. As a result, Edwards has swiftly earned respect throughout the league, not only from the fans, but also from the media members and former players as well, solidifying his reputation as a respected and feared figure. While the Timberwolves defense had been elite against the Suns in the first round, they will need to be even better than that to contain Denver's potent offense. Over the last 2 regular seasons, the Nuggets and the Timberwolves have split their matchups, showcasing the challenges that each team poses for one another. The Nuggets have struggled to consistently generate quality scoring opportunities due to the length and defensive prowess of the Timberwolves, as when they do force a switch, it's just another good defender guarding you, resulting in sluggish offense. However, although Minnesota boasts a formidable defense, it's their offense that at times hasn't been very good, leading to challenges keeping themselves in games, especially against these Nuggets. When it comes down to predicting the winner of this series, it's always a tough question, but for this series, it's especially tough. From my perspective, it's hard to envision a series ending in any fewer than 6 games, given the high level of talent on both sides. The dominance of the Joker has been on full display, as he averaged a triple-double against the Lakers in the first round, despite being guarded by Anthony Davis, arguably one of the toughest one-on-one matchups in the league for for him. However, Minnesota poses an equally formidable challenge for him, with the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year Rudy Gobert, who has been a difficult matchup for Jokic his whole career. When facing Gobert, Jokic's statistics dropped to 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists per game, providing the Wolves with an opportunity to compete for the series. However, I have a feeling that the Joker has some surprises in store and will most definitely average better numbers than this in the series. Jamal Murray has been a different player in the playoffs compared to the regular season, as he averages 16 points per game during the regular season and 24.7 points per game in the playoffs. That 7.8 points per game increase is the largest in NBA history, and even more shockingly, the second highest increase belongs to Nikola Jokic. With the 2 greatest playoff rises in the league's history, it's impossible to predict what to expect from the Denver Nuggets. But Anthony Edwards has also been a playoff riser, surpassing his regular season average of 22.9 points per game by adding an extra 6 points, putting up an impressive 28.9 points per game in the playoffs. However, just numbers alone will never get you all the way to a correct outcome, no matter how many metrics or stats I throw at you. However, what can ultimately sway the balance in a 7-game series is mentality and experience. Denver has a heavy dose of both of these qualities, and we were reminded of that in the first round series against LA. Never faltering even when facing early deficits in games, coming back every time. In my view, the Nuggets are my pick to win the series. However, I don't think it will be as straightforward as they anticipate, as I believe that Anthony Edwards will make a strong case for the title of the best player in the world throughout this series. But it isn't just about Ant versus Jokic, as every team has an X factor, which could single-handedly turn the balance in a series. For Minnesota, that X factor is Karl-Anthony Towns, as if Denver chooses to guard Edwards with Aaron Gordon, who will pick up Cat? His mix of 3-point shooting, finishing in the paint, and his overall size and strength makes him a huge problem for the Nuggets if he's playing well. For years now, Cat has faced criticism for his lack of post-ups and drives to the basket. However, this season he has noticeably increased his activity in these areas, shooting an impressive 51% on shots in the paint. Additionally, his elite 3-point shooting has remained consistent, with a 42% accuracy from beyond the arc. If the Timberwolves get the best version of Cat, I just don't know how you guard this Wolves team. The Nuggets' X factor is undoubtedly Michael Porter Jr. His ability to catch fire in a game or two in a series has proven invaluable, capable of securing victories even when Murray or Jokic might be struggling. But when Murray and Jokic are playing well and MPJ is making his corner threes, Denver are virtually unbeatable. With the injury concerns with Kristaps Porzingis for the Celtics in the Eastern Conference and the rest of the West just not being as good as Denver or Minnesota, the winner of the series is really in the best possible position to win a title this season. If Ant can push Minnesota past Denver, he could win a title as the number 1 option at only age 22. This would be unprecedented for a player to win a title so early in their career while being the primary option on the team. We eagerly await to see if Anthony Edwards can carve out his legacy, but for now the best we can do is imagine. Do you think Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves can win the Western Conference and win their first NBA championship? Let us know in the comments below.